Good morning and welcome to our town hall. Eduardo is back with us in the studio. Eduardo, welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning to you guys in Asia. Actually, good evening, right? So it's a big pleasure for me to be back to US.
There you go. How was Brazil?
It was like different because at the first time, everybody had to stay at home all the time.
Yeah.
No beers, no alcohol.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. If people have to stay at home, at least you can have like fun with your family. But at this time, nobody couldn't even buy alcohol.
But you have lots of nieces and nephews, right?
Oh no, it's good for me because I lost some weight, so
okay,
got an opportunity to work more on my shape. But it's great because I got back to US and I took my shot yesterday. As I got here,
How you feeling?
Yesterday I was feeling a little sore, but now I feel 100%.
You're back?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
All right.
great.
Well, again, welcome to our show. We're glad to have you here, and thanks for joining us. Big news, lots of news in the cruise industry. If you've been watching some of the channels, then there's a lot of back and forth, and we're going to bring that to you today. One of the things that we want to talk about, of course, is in St. Vincent, there's a volcano, and the volcano's about to erupt. And what has happened is that the cruise lines, more specifically Royal and Carnival, have sent ships down there to help people, evacuate the people if needed. The governor has already said everybody must evacuate, and it's a real big emergency going on there. So our heart goes out to them. This is in the Caribbean, the island of St. Vincent. So we have lots of news to get to today. But before we do, any special big things that you want to?
Oh, the biggest special is like for you guys that's watching us for the first time, and of course for you guys that have been watching us for a while. So don't forget to put your comments here. But for the new ones, so please go ahead and then subscribe on our channel. We already crossed the 5,000 subscribers, and we are very thankful to have you guys here. You guys are part of our family. It's almost completing 1 year that we start the Town Hall show.
Oh, that's right.
And
we have to do a party that day.
Yeah, and we are just ready for our second Maritime Challenge, which I also invite you to be part of a Maritime Challenge. Make your video, dancing, singing, cooking, doing something different but that you love to do. Submit to us because you can win only yourself prizes that is almost $1,000. And we're going to have almost 8 to 10 winners. So
oh, great.
A lot of money going on, right?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get that
airline tickets or money.
Or money.
iPhones.
Or money.
Or money. Right?
Yeah.
Tablets or money.
Give me the money.
Laptops. So it's going to be very fun. But of course, you guys have to go to our website, cti-usa.com, so you can see the guidelines, all the requirements, so you can be in and participate what we're going to do. You don't have to pay anything. Just use your talent and submit your video to us.
Actually, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We have a brand new website coming.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I've been watching the people who've been developing that. Absolutely amazing.
I like
really
this
good
equipment here. So
yeah, what do you think?
By the time that I was not here, things is growing.
You
it's
go
getting
away,
better.
I buy new equipment.
I like that.
And even the audience loves it.
Yeah, I love that. What is that?
That's people who are happy that we got new equipment.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of investment here. As you guys know, we're working a lot, but no money coming in as the cruise liner pause. Pause the operation, just investment. As we say to you, invest in yourself, invest in your time, get ready, improving your English, improving your knowledge, because as things get tougher, people are going to be more selected.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And if you're one of the ones that's coming back to the ship, believe me, so you have to prove that yourself is going to help the cruise industry recover.
That's it. Just as we continue to invest in ourselves, they have to invest in themselves, right?
I like this.
You like nice, huh? Okay. And this is only a part of what's to come, so stand by. More to come. We have a lot of breaking news, so if we can move on to that. Headlines, and the word of the, let's say the word of the weekend is cancellation. And there's a big war going on, not a physical war, but a lot of words of battle, battle of words, there we go. with the CDC and the cruise lines. We're going to go through that in a few moments as well. But Carnival has canceled June and July sailings. We have Royal Caribbean, who has canceled their June sailings, hopefully to come back in July, they say. Virgin Voyages is leaving the United States and says, you know what, we're not going to start in Miami. We're going to go into the UK and sail over there. But they hope to come back in August. Disney has cancellations through June as well. So just so much going on. Now, you may wonder, why are they canceling, right? Why do they schedule? Why do they cancel? Naturally, in America, the CDC has the ultimate say over who is going to cruise and who is not going to cruise. We posted a video on Wednesday, and for those who haven't seen it, we'd like to take a few moments and show it to you. And it's gotten over 15,000 watches. And this is just amazing. So anyway, we're going to go to this video. It's called the CDC New Issue Guidelines for April 21. And you will be able to understand why the cruise lines are upset.
On the 2nd of April, the CDC released a new statement giving us an update on the next phase of their conditional sail order in the U.S. This phase lists out measures that cruise ships must take to start sailing again in the near future. There will be an increase of testing and reporting for both crew and passengers, trial voyages for the CDC to know whether a ship is set to truly operate, and more. But before we get to the information, remember to subscribe so you can stay updated with all our new content. Be sure to leave a like and comment as well. So, a big update within this release is the amount of onboard reporting that should take place. Previously, the reporting of any COVID-19-like illnesses was only needed on a weekly basis. However, the CDC has now stated that these reports must be conducted daily. When it comes to testing for the virus, all newly embarking crew on a ship must take a COVID-19 PCR test. After this testing, crew must quarantine for a period of 14 days, and once their time in quarantine is up, they will take another test for the virus even if they show no signs of symptoms. From that point on, the frequency of testing will take place according to a ship's color status. Be sure to check out our videos explaining the green, yellow, and red ship statuses, and keep an eye out for our video on orange ship status. If you don't already know, a color status signifies the condition of a ship in terms of its confirmed COVID cases. If a status is red, screening testing must take place weekly. If orange, it must take place every 2 weeks, and if green, it must take place every 28 days. Speaking of ship color statuses, the CDC also announced that it would take a shorter amount of time for a red ship to become a green ship. Before, it was declared that it would take 28 days for this change to happen, but now, as long as onboard testing, daily reporting, and all protocols are met, it will only take 14 days for a ship with a red status to return to having a green status. Ships that carry out testing with negative COVID results for everyone on board will be able to gain approval from the CDC to partake in a trial voyage. This trial will be conducted with volunteer passengers and be inspected CDC frequently. If all on-board standards are met and the trial voyage is successful, the CDC will grant the ship with a COVID-19 conditional sailing certificate. This certificate will indicate that a ship is able to continue its operations with passengers as long as they keep up with all the requirements set by the CDC. This was big update for the cruise industry. So long as we remain hopeful and keep looking forward, the ships will be back out at sea soon. We at CTI Group are with you for that journey, and will keep providing you with updates on everything that is happening in the world of cruising. Head over to www.cdc.gov/quarantine/cruise for more information on this conditional no-sail order and any other updates that may come out. The link will also be in the description. As we mentioned before, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. See you in the next video, and have a great day.
cruise lines are upset. Not only is there more testing, more rules, more regulations. There was there was a meeting held, I think it's about a week and a half ago, with the Governor DeSantis. And he said, okay, we're going to push the CDC to lift the no-sail order. And what happens the next day? They add more rules and regulations. So we've got, and we're going to speak about this a little bit later, Carnival is threatening to leave.
Yeah, it's take a while that the no-sail order has been dropped. If I'm not mistaken, it was in October last year. But as they did that, they also put a bunch of requirements,
Absolutely.
which took months for the cruise line to be on top of those. And right now, they are on top of those. For example, Royal Caribbean, if I'm not mistaken, they have all the ships in green.
Everybody's in green.
Everybody's in green.
Everybody's
They
in green
follow
status,
everything.
right?
Plus, everybody is mostly vaccinated. And we can start right now only with American passengers, which we can control only only Americans.
Right.
So it would be a good start. But they want to respond it again. So it's a lot of politics going on, as we actually, I think I mentioned this before, but back then, of course, we didn't have much sources to protect the environment as we have right now. And if this is going to continue, it's nothing that they can do. And I agree. I think they have to leave and just get it started.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But what happened on Thursday is actually the Governor DeSantis, held a meeting, and it was in Miami, and he was talking about the unemployment and how it affects, especially the Miami area, because we're the cruise capital of the world. Let's look at what he had to say.
This is something that's being imposed, this shutdown, by the CDC and the federal government. And so if you look at Miami-Dade County, even though the state of Florida is far below the national average in terms of the unemployment rate, here in Dade County, it's one of the highest unemployment rates in the entire state. And it's way higher than the state average and higher than even the national average. And the main reason for that is because the federal government and the CDC has locked down this industry for over a year. This is not reasonable. This is not rational. And guess what? If they say that cruising is not safe, even with widespread vaccine availability, all the testing you want, they have now antibody treatments that have been very effective. They have all these different things. It's a much different situation than a year ago. But guess what? People are still going to go on cruises. You know what they're going to do? Instead of flying to Miami, spending money to stay in our hotels, spending money to eat in our restaurants before they get on the ship, they're going to fly to the Bahamas. And they're going to get on the ships from the Bahamas, and they're going to spend the money in the Bahamas, and then they're going to do the same thing that they would have done. It just won't be helping the state of Florida, and it won't be helping our folks here who really depend on it. So how does that make any sense? It doesn't. It's irrational, and this is something that we don't believe can continue any longer. And so today, I'm happy to announce that on behalf of the tens of thousands of Floridians whose livelihood depends on the viability of an open cruise industry, today Florida's fighting back. We're filing a lawsuit against the federal government and the CDC demanding that our cruise ships be reopened immediately. This will be something that we believe we have every legal right to insist upon. We don't believe the federal government has the right to mothball a major industry for over a year. Based on very little evidence and very little data. And I think we have a good chance for success. But here's the thing. It's our responsibility to fight for our fellow Floridians. If they are in dire straits, and you heard Monica, the stories, it's not just about even dollars and cents. Obviously, people want a paycheck. They want to be able to control their own destiny and do things like that. But it's also about your livelihood, how you feel about yourself, how your mental health is doing, all these other things that are negatively affected when you have something like this happen where you're shut out. And the thing is, too, is not only are they shut out, there's really just no end in sight. because whatever they do next, it's probably going to be so cumbersome that the cruise lines aren't even going to be able to sail under some ridiculous order with you having to do all these other things. So our view is people can make the decisions that they want to make. People are going to cruise one way or another. It's a question is, are we going to do it out of Florida, which is the #1 place to do it in the world, or are they going to be doing it out of the Bahamas or other locations? And so I think that the answer to that question should be obvious for Floridians. We want our folks to be able to go back to work. We want to be able to stand up for them and their families. And so today we're doing that. I'm very happy to be partnering with our Attorney General, Ashley Moody. We've been discussing this now for many weeks. We knew that we had to do something. We did have an event at Port Canaveral a couple weeks ago imploring the CDC to take action. They've not taken sufficient action, and so we believe that it is time for us to vindicate the state's rights and the rights of the state in court, and also vindicate the livelihoods of the tens of thousands of Floridians who depend on this industry. So the Attorney General is going to come up, give you a little bit more information on what we're doing today, but I couldn't be more proud to be working with her on this very, very important issue. And on behalf of everyone you see standing back here, everyone else in the community, particularly in Miami-Dade County, help is on the way here. We're going to keep at this until we finally get it open.
So you see the controversy going on.
Yeah, no, all the facts that he's brought to the table, it makes a lot of sense. As we know that people will travel, people will cruise one way or the other. And actually, because in the Europe, they are not receiving foreigners, right? Just local people. That's the idea to present here mostly in Florida. But people are going to fly to Bahamas, as he was mentioned.
Right.
And they're going to be exposed on that environment, which is already protected by the cruise line, as they're going to bring all the crew members vaccinated, all that kind of things. So beneficial for Florida and other states is to bring the cruise here, because people can get their jobs back.
Right.
Right. So we don't see a reasonable reason why they still lock the cruise line. So no, you cannot do anything.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And one of the things, there's a lot of behind the scenes that are happening here. The current administration in power is not Governor DeSantis. It's not his. Put it this way, they're not of the same party, right?
Right.
He's of the opposite party. So when the party that's in power is in power and the party that's not in power makes a suggestion, many times they don't listen because their attitude is we're in power and you're not.
Right.
So anyway, they have to go through the courts, and the courts become a big mess. And I've never been a big fan of taking things to court. I'd rather be able to sit down, solve it, get on with it, because unfortunately the cruise lines lose, the people lose, and it gets caught up in the courts and it becomes a mess. So let's just hope that they can come to a quick resolution.
Yeah, we all know that politics, they always have at least two sides, and it's not different in the United States. But when we get on a point like this, it's not much to hold. No matter who's going to win in all those sides, the population have to win. And we got on a point that everything that was has been told, like, you have to do this, you have to do that, it's already settled. So
right.
So it's nothing more that they can keep holding, because they are trying to hold the cruise line, maybe because they don't pay taxes, is already agreed for long years, and they wanted this to start to happen right now. Okay, we get that. But for the safety point, as the CDC is here just to protect the society in terms of disease and things like that, it's nothing more they can do.
Right.
Because airlines are operating, and
hotels are open,
bars,
Disneyland's open,
bars,
restaurants, everything's open.
Okay, people they come from a different country, like I was in Brazil when I came here. I had to do my PCR test. I get it, but if I want to go from Florida to New York, I don't have to do a PCR test to join on that ship.
And you get in a plane and you sit next to someone, right?
But everybody who's join the plane, they already present a proposal. They're going to do a PCR test. Most of them are going to be vaccinated, even if it's not like mandatory, but they are going to be tested.
Right.
Plus, the cruise line, of course, they're going to give a preference for those crew members that is already vaccinated. So what else can you do in order to protect the society if no one has done anything better than that?
Absolutely. We're going to talk in a few moments what NCL has taken and I'm not going to call it aggressive, but I like the stance that they're taking. They have sent a letter to the CDC, and they said, this is what we're going to do. But we're going to go over that in a few minutes. You know, the CDC did respond the next day, and this was something that was published in Bloomberg, and Bloomberg is a news media, and it was very contradictory, and the CDC hasn't had much sense, is that they agree with the cruise lines. They need to get up and started by summer. But there's no way they can get started by summer with all the protocols that have to be in place. You know, ships have to get their crew back. Ships have to get the crew back from 30, 60, 90 days. It takes to get all of those people back on flights, to get them here, to do the training. So there's just so much information going on out there that one contradicts the other.
And plus, all these lies that they are creating and drive the cruise line to a wrong direction. Because 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, 3 NCL went to Asia and brought a full ship with a lot of
full ships.
Yeah, with a lot of crew members, and they brought these people here, and they had to bring them back to the country because everything that was told was not true, was the wrong direction.
Well, you know what's going on.
How much money has been,
wasted and spent,
spent.
What's going on right now? Those people are arriving back. Our offices in Jakarta and Bali and Jogja are already receiving these people. They're getting them off the ship. They're receiving. We have some pictures. We'll share those with you next week. And they're checking off, or they're getting off the ship. They're checking into hotels. They're going into quarantine again. And after they're quarantined, then they get to go home. Now, with all this momentum going on, where cruise lines are going to go elsewhere, they may turn around and say, "I'm glad you were on the ship for 3 months. Now we need to get you back." So, not only is it mentally taxing, but it's physically taxing, right? You just can't take people and treat them like this and say, let me put you on a ship, let me quarantine you for 3 months, or whatever it may be. Now, let me take you to Europe. Now, let me take you back home. So it's definitely not a vacation. If someone thinks, oh, my God, I'd love to have that as a vacation, it's not a vacation by any means.
Many countries are struggling that. Even in Brazil, I was there, and then people keep saying, oh, you stay at home, be safe. It's very easy to send that message to people when you have your salary drop in your account every month and your salary is huge. And then you can go in front of a camera or a TV and then tell people to stay at home because you know that you have money enough to take care of yourself and your family. But for those people who need monthly by monthly salary to keep their life running, protect their family, they are willing to take risks because they have no choice.
They have to. They
of
have
course,
no money.
they would like to stay at home and have fun and don't have to work. Who doesn't want to do that?
But you still have to pay your rent. You got to pay your car. You got to have food. You got to have everything else. So you just can't sit at home and do nothing.
Even here in the United States, they were giving like some. It's not a benefit, but kind of being flexible with rentals and things like that. But it doesn't mean that you're not gonna have to pay your rent, your mortgage. Maybe they're gonna delay 1 or 2 months and give you some time. But when things get back to normal, you have to pay.
You got to catch up.
So it doesn't. Nobody's paying for you. It's like it's just kind of holding a big snowball,
right?
And then coming against you.
It just goes and goes. Yeah. There was a video I found, and I find this truly, truly amazing, right? We talk about Seafarers. On this channel, again, we talk a lot about Seafarers. We have soon coming up a Seafarers radio channel that we're going to be launching. But everybody who works on a ship, no matter if you work on a cruise ship, no matter if you work on a cargo ship, a tanker, you're a seafarer.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and people don't really realize how seafarers affect every one of our lives. From every piece of fruit, every piece of meat, every product that we buy, if we buy cars, washers, dryers, whatever, that is all delivered by ship. And these are seafarers. And there was a lot of work work behind the scenes talking about making these people non-essential workers, or essential workers, I'm sorry. And they truly are essential workers. If the seafarers were to stop, if all the ships were to stop, you'll see what happens in this video. And it's amazing. It was a video put together by BIMCO and a UK-based television production company called ITN, and it talks about there are 1.7 million seafarers in this world. There are 61,000 vessels, and if these were to stop moving, the world would come to a standstill. So let's take a moment and look at this video. This is truly amazing.
A time when the world stopped, ships kept moving. People still shopped, ships kept on proving. The volume of trade that's moved by sea, 90% of trade, actually. Crops that are weighed, cars that are sprayed, and it's easy to see the impact this makes. Fruit and vegetables, toys and collectibles, wheats and grains, the blood in the veins. Like to land a farmer is, ships are to the sea. And if the world is the heart, ships are the arteries, which stock the pharmacies, move essential commodities. So there's a lot at stake across these seas. Without these routes, half the world would starve, while the other half would freeze. Without these bright-colored containers, the four walls in our house that contain us would be empty. The books we read, the animal feed, the oil we need, the global lives that we lead. No oil, no cars, no essential spare parts. The sea's version of stars, those flickering lights on the horizon. By moon and by sun, but the journey is never done. As a supertanker proves, the distance it moves is equivalent to 3 times around this earth a year. And we are served by over 61,000 ships. The things we buy, the things that shops sell, the 1.7 million seafarers, it's more than just engines that propel this industry. And it's easy to see that a lot is owed to the people that load. 6,000 ports worldwide, but it's not all plain sailing. It's rough seas and piracy warnings and the change that this inevitably causes. The sea covers 70% of our planet, so you can see why we need to plan it. A global community of knowledge and passion. From salt and sugar to the latest fashion, our ships keep moving products we love using. Ships make the world go. They help trade flow and let business grow.
Seafarers, and again, you're going to be seeing us using this theme a lot more as we go along, but the video very clearly says, without the seafarer, where would we be?
Yeah, that's true. The seafarers, they are extremely important. As I just mentioned here, people want to tell people to stay at home, but all the food that we receive, like all the, the important things, the commodities that go around the world, most of them is transported by seafarers. Because we are not mentioning the seafarers that CTI mostly work for the cruise ship,
right?
That bring fun and tourism and things like that. But it's more the seafarers in general. Everybody like that it's somewhere is working at sea and then bringing security to us and our families, and we don't even realize that.
You don't realize it, right? The clothes you wear, the food you eat, the house you build, the materials that you have, the cars you buy, your refrigerator, everything is, all the parts are moving around the world and brought right to us in our living room.
Would be very nice. This actually, it is nice what CTI is doing. Like since we started this channel, and then we've been in touch with the crew, because I think the crew never had a voice, and pretty much that's what we are doing now. We're giving you guys a voice when we open for the Maritime Challenge, and so you can show another side of yourself that nobody maybe gave you the opportunity to show. And one of the things that it's important, so like every time when the world is struggling with something, we're gonna pay the price, and we are gonna pay the price. But you guys have to know your value, and as this video was showing you guys here, how much value you have, how much value you bring to the earth. And if we come together as a community and we have only one voice, we become even
Stronger,
right?
of course.
Because it's not about how much money you have; it's what you represent. Like it's what you bring to the earth. If you decide to stop, if each seafarer decide to stop and stay at home, as was told us to stay
Right.
at home, the world will
Would freeze.
like crash.
Right.
Because even the crew members that work on a cruise ship, they was repatriated back home. The other ones was working cargo tankers. They still working.
Absolutely.
They still
Absolutely.
working. With exposure, without exposure, nobody has blocked them to do anything. Why? Because they are essential workers. And if they stop, I'm not gonna receive food at home. I can go to Publix to buy something and I won't find anything.
Right. The
So
shelves will be empty.
you guys extremely important. You have to know that.
Right.
You know?
And you know what was so great about our last Maritime Challenge? The guy on the tanker who submitted the video.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he was you would see the tanker going up and down in the waves, and he was great. So we invite, not only our cruise ship workers, seafarers, they're seafarers as well, right? They're part of that 1.7 million people. Right, and we invite everybody, especially for the Maritime Challenge, and those seafarers who are tankers, oilers, cruise ships, fishing ships, cargo ships. If you work on the sea, you're a seafarer.
Yeah, no, you have to create a big purpose for your life, and live for that. I know most of you guys have family, have children, and you have to take care of your family. But you also have something inside of you that you want to represent while you're alive, and you have to really step up on that. Because we CTI are going to give you guys voice. We're going to have the possibility to bring more
Absolutely.
people here. You're going to be able to tell your story to the world, right? People
And
gonna
our
be
new
able to
radio
listen
show,
to you.
people can call in.
Yeah.
Even if you work on a ship, you can call in and be live on our show.
Like, and of course, we don't want to be dramatic. We don't want to jeopardize anything. I know
Oh,
that
no,
we
absolutely not.
can feel everything that come to us. But how many times in your life have you feel like humility, like someone just didn't give you the right value, and you say, "Oh, I would like to tell this. I would like to, to say how I overcome that moment." But nobody gave you a chance because they say, "Oh, you're not anything. Just go, go, go." But at this time, you guys gonna have the chance to speak up.
Well, one of the
know.
things we're going to do in the show, there'll be birthday wishes. There'll be people who will call in from a ship. They'll call live from a ship because if you have internet, you can reach our radio station. Right? They can call in. We can wish them birthdays. We can call their mothers. We can connect them. It'll be a nice show. So that's something that we're planning and hopefully launching very, very soon. Okay, back to things going on in the cruise industry. NCL, actually on the April 5th, they sent a letter to the CDC and pretty much telling the CDC, something, we agree with all your protocols. We think that we can handle this. We're going to vaccinate all of our crew. Right? We're going to make sure that every person who gets on the ship is vaccinated. So they've really taken this aggressive stance rather than waiting for the CDC. They said, by the way, CDC, this is what we're going to do. And they framed it in a way that, our president has said by July 4th, which is Independence Day in America, that we should be able to be back to the closest normal we've been to in a long time. And being back to that normal is going out without masks, gathering, having social gatherings, celebrate the July 4th, the independence of America. And so NCL said, you know something? We agree with you. We agree with you. So we're going to take these steps, and by July 4th, we would like to be sailing out of the United States. Now, typical government agency, nobody's responded as of yet. Talk about delay and delay and delay. So what this is forcing every cruise line to do, this whole week, there's been a lot of talk. You've got Frank Del Rio, who is at NCL. You know, you've got Carnival Cruise Line, Christine Duffy. You know, you've got everybody standing up and saying, what is the problem? Look at all the protocols we have in place. Mm-hmm. NCL has decided to do a mini-series, basically, and they're calling it The Great Cruise Comeback. And quite frankly, it's amazing. So we're going to show you part of that. This is something that is to come. They're going to produce it on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it there. We'll bring segments from it as well. But it's called The Great Comeback from NCL. And they say they're coming back, and quite honestly, they're excited. Frank Del Rio has got his executive team together. They're going to be doing live on YouTube these little mini-series, and I'm excited to watch it myself. You know, congratulations, NCL, right?
Yeah. I'm also excited because to buy some cruise line stocks because I can guarantee you the stocks is going to be really high. What happened is all this situation create that excitement inside of the guys who likes to go cruise, and they can't wait to say, yes, you guys can travel right now.
Right.
You know, all these updates that the cruise are, most of the ships has been renovated, you know, everything changed. So people who used to travel a lot, used to cruise a lot, they can't wait. That's why, if I'm not mistaken, Royal Caribbean start to sail in another country, I think Bahamas or...
Yes, they're going to Jamaica.
Yeah, in Jamaica. Yeah, and everything is already full. It's full of Americans who's going to travel there.
Absolutely.
To do the thing.
Absolutely.
So people, they're going to do whatever it takes. Actually, this... I don't know what the CDC came out with this, but this fear they try to put on the cruise industry, like, oh, the cruise industry is the one who brought the COVID here, because that's what it sounds.
Yeah, of course.
It does not affect anybody because people are going to continue cruising normally, and they know that it doesn't come from the cruise.
Well, you know, let's stop a second and say that our opinions are our opinions.
Yeah.
They're not the opinions of cruise lines. They are our sole opinions only. So,
but that's why it's our channel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But we're allowed to express that. This is America.
But that's why we have a channel,
right?
Because
exactly.
if you're gonna just come here and then be into that box, oh, we cannot say this, we cannot say that, so we have to step
agree.
up.
I
right?
agree. You know, the CDC, in my opinion, is run by a great group of scientists, right? But what do they know about cruise ships? What do they know about travel? Because if they knew as much about airlines as they do about cruise ships, the airlines wouldn't be flying. Mm-hmm. But they let them fly. But yet they say they're under another division of the government. And that division of the government wants them to fly.
Oh,
I get it.
Which division? Transportation?
Yeah, transportation.
And cruise does
under
not
CDC.
Yeah. No,
Welcome to politics.
I think in the beginning the CDC came with amazing proposal to protect everybody, and as we are dealing with a virus that nobody knew what it was and then how to treat people,
right?
And then over time they find out, you know, the symptoms, they find out what it is, and we start to get better results from. But right now, everything that the human being could do about this, it's already done. The vaccine took place, you know. People, actually, they have a normal lives, mostly here in Florida. If you guys have the opportunity one day to be here, you're going to see the bars are not full. They are packed.
The restaurants are packed.
Yeah,
the
it's
movie
packed,
theaters are open.
Remember
right?
Remember that guideline they were telling us like, oh, is only one table here and then 2 tables nobody and then another table. It doesn't exist there anymore. People walk in, only put a mask. Walk in, you can remove your mask. You can go to the bathroom without your mask. People are just living normally, and the numbers are dropping. So, which is great, right?
You know,
That's just amazing.
A week ago, when Governor DeSantis held this meeting, he was in one of the major cruise ports, and he said, something. He let everybody go around. Michael Bailey was there. Christine Duffy was there, and Christine Duffy says, "I want you to know we are America's cruise line. We will sail from America's port." Now, just last week, now they've come back and says, if the CDC expects us to jump through all of these hoops, these are my words, translation, that how can we meet all of these rules and regulations? So Arnold Donald, who is the CEO of the Carnival Group, came out and said, if something doesn't happen, we will have to move from American ports. So Arnold Donald is the guy at Carnival, and then if he says, okay, we're going to take our ships and go to like everybody else, NCL's going, Virgin's leaving, even Disney, which is a huge American company, is going over to the UK. So they're going to go over there and sail for a while to see what's happening. So hopefully American can get its act together.
Yeah, the worst scenario that I can see that happened when COVID just hit us last year was like people from different countries. The ship was docked, like let's say in China, and they are not allowing passengers that was not belong to China.
Right.
But at this time, the proposal is restart with only with Americans, as Europe is starting, like only with Italians or only with people from local, right?
Right.
So that is no problem, because if I got COVID living in US, I can go to the hospital and get treated. So if I'm on the ship and I'm in US, why not? I can be treated. It's like, what's the problem?
This
Right,
is what
that's-
Carnival is saying. Carnival says, look, just treat us fairly.
Yeah.
What you do for the cruise industry, what you do for the hotel industry, treat us
Nightclubs
fairly.
are open.
Oh,
which is
everything.
even worse.
Everything. All they
know.
want is fair treatment. So just recently, Carnival canceled all of its cruises for June. So here's what they have to do, right? All these people get excited, they book, especially the general public. Cruises are doing really well for selling, and then they have to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to go. We're not going to go." And as a person who may book a cruise, finally I'm just going to get really tired and say, "When are you guys going to make up your mind?" It's not us guys, it's not the cruise lines, it's the CDC sitting there saying, "Okay, we gave you the framework for going back to sailing, the conditional framework. Okay, let's do it." All the ships went into green according to the CDC inspections. Oh, well, now here's some more stuff to do. That's what the cruise lines are upset about. And they just have to. They have to take their business elsewhere.
Yo, I can see that the numbers of people watching us is growing here. So if you guys are liking this, don't forget to put your like and then subscribe on our channel. As I get back and I see new equipment, I get some excitement here as well. But by the way, my fear is like when the cruise line return, let's put this way, to normal, people have to wear mask everywhere, which is completely different than people is
In
living
Florida, right?
living in US, right?
Right.
People have the option. They use a mask, but only when they go to a restaurant or a supermarket, something like that. So my fear is like the CDC pushed them so much to make the ship environment boring. Because people are gonna say, so when I go to Las Olas,
Right.
Las Olas, right
Right.
here. Oh, it's really cool. It's nice. I can walk by a lot of people. I can be in touch with people. But when I come here, I have to wear a mask even to jump in the pool. So it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
right.
As cruise line will say, treat us fairly. Like
Right.
just be fair with everybody. And if this doesn't happen, so it's nothing that they can do. I think they really have to leave. Because, of course, we want to put you guys back into the ship. And if you have to travel to Bahamas to get it started, why not?
But yeah, for those crew members, we'll talk
Yeah.
about them in a second. But the economic effect just to the United States. Do you know how many vendors, how many vegetables, how many meats, how many all the supplies are coming from the United States that go on board the cruise ships? All of those suppliers, some of them are out of business now because they have nobody to supply. right? They depend on the cruise ship business for years and years. Now for a whole year, all the suppliers, they have nobody to supply. They put stuff in a warehouse, which happens to be tax and duty free. Now it sits there and it rots because we're waiting for somebody in Washington or Atlanta, as it may be, where the CDC is located, to sit there and make a decision. And trust me, they take their holidays, they take their Saturdays and Sundays while everybody else sits here without a paycheck.
Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't know if this word is English, like polemic. Like, I don't want to, yeah, this.
Political?
No, forget about it.
Okay.
So I just don't want to be too much outside the box what I'm going to say here. But, you know, when people get everything they want, like money, everything, they look for power. It's the ego, you know, touching your heart and your brain, and you start to do things that you shouldn't do, because when you work as a leader, when you are head of something, you have to think about the total, the society firstly. And of course, the CDC came here to protect the disease, and they're doing a good job, yes. But now it's over the top. And what happened is, these things is taking a proportion that is affecting directly with many lives, because it's over a year people without jobs.
Oh,
like
yes,
it's
absolutely.
over a year. And I know that American has doing some stimulus check and giving $1,200, $600, but nobody can live a whole year with, okay, $4,000. How people going to survive with $4,000? Like
in America, if I were in Asia, I'd be happy.
No. But even though, like, if you have your salary, how can you survive with the things like that? It got on a point that we have to get it started. If I'm not, United States is one of the first country who is getting recovered really quick in terms of vaccination.
Right.
Vaccination is, so what's the reason to make that fast? So we want to keep the other things slow and we don't move.
It must be political.
And we know that the cruise industry is very strong economically for U.S., mostly for Florida. And that's why DeSantis is stepping up and say something.
And rightfully so, and let's hope that goes somewhere. You know, there was a huge amount of excitement about Virgin Voyages coming here, right? And Voyages has come and they've left. They've come and they've left. And guess what? Now they're going back to the U.K., they've just set sail to go back to the UK to say, okay, we'll go and do our cruises over there. So, U.S., when you get your act together, maybe we'll come back and sail over here. So the disappointment they're building, and again, the money they bring, they're building a new terminal in the port of Miami. Just Virgin Voyages building a terminal. You know, NCL has a new terminal. Carnival has a new terminal. All of these, the cancellations are just crazy, right?
Yeah, the thing is, like, if the Europe was a failure, yes, I agree. Let's follow what the CDC is saying. We can use Europe as example. It didn't work. But listen, the 2-week cruises, like, they've been doing, like, 3 months after COVID, they was doing ships.
Right.
They're doing there.
Over 400,000 people have cruised already.
Without no cases.
With no cases.
You know, with no cases. So, since the COVID hit us, no one has followed 100% the guidelines, like protecting the environment, create a bubble, like the cruise line has done.
Absolutely.
And actually, any other business cannot create that the bubble as cruise line can, because they have the full ship control it, the environment. And if they take people to the islands, they also can control that environment as well.
Absolutely.
Which business can control that? I can go to one restaurant here, across the street, go to another one, and it start to spread whatever I have.
Right.
So nothing can be so better to work with than the cruise lines.
I agree. Yeah. You know, cancellations everywhere. So hopefully those cancellations will, you know, they want to come back to the States. And, you know, the big word is, you know, some people were afraid, well, if they go over there, will they come back? Well, the United States is by far the biggest cruise market, right? So the cruise lines do want to be here. But they can't just have their ships set here and burn cash. And that's what's happening. They're burning cash after cash after cash, month after month. So, you know, it's definitely time to get back. Okay, some of the things coming up we want to talk about is coming up new from CTI. We will have a new webpage soon. We're going to launch that. We're going to start recruiting again. And I know a lot of people out there want to hear that. We're going to start recruiting again. So our new webpage will be launched next week. We are putting our foot in the sand and saying next week it will be launched. We have people in-house working on that. So get ready. lot of dreams ready to come true. You'll be able to apply. Our new video system is coming. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Okay, let's see what else we got. I know that we have the Virgin Voyages video. You know, it shows actually the ship sailing out of Miami. It's kind of sad, right? Because they're leaving, and they'll say, "Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back soon." I think we have that. Do we have that, Harold? Yeah. Okay, let's go with that one. Kind of reminds me of that Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm back. Anyway, she's back. In other words, you know, she went to Miami, nothing happened. Now she's going back to England.
Yeah, no, and I definitely agree. I think if people is not giving you value, you have to move forward. You know, of course, we always depend someone above us, but if it's getting too much, you don't have to beg. You know, and if it's other countries open the door, why not? Because if they're going to UK, it's because they say, "Oh, you guys are welcome here.
Absolutely,
bring money to us because we need it most at this time, economically wise. So bring money to us."
It's amazing the not millions, the billions of dollars that the cruise industry brings to the United States. Not only jobs, right, but money. Again, you fly in, you stay in a hotel overnight. You go to all the restaurants. You go to the bars. You get on the ship the next day. You go do your 7-day trip. You come back. You stay a week in Miami. You may stay a week in another port. You may stay 3 or 4 days. The hotels, the people who work at the hotels, the people who supply the food at the hotels, you know, the taxi drivers, everybody.
And as they already make a lot of money with this PCR test, like guys, this became a huge industry. I was in Brazil, get ready to do my PCR test. You know, before the PCR, the result you would come like in 2 to 3 days. It comes in 4 hours. I went to the airport. I did my PCR test. After 4 hours, I get my result to join on the airplane to return to United States. So this is not going to stop. After you get vaccinated and everything else, if you travel, you have to do your PCR test.
Absolutely.
Which means they're going to keep making money. And I say, who are they? We don't know, right? But probably...
The guy giving the test.
Yeah, whoever is requiring that,
right,
they are getting a piece from. Because it's not cheap. At least in Brazil, I pay, I think, $85 for a PCR test. In America, I pay $125. So every travel...
In Asia, it's a lot less expensive than that.
Yeah, but... they're going to try to balance based upon your wages, right? So, but every time you travel, you have to put $200 on top, back and forth to do PCR tests. Look how much money they're going to make. And bringing cruise line to United States where they require PCR tests for the passengers is even more money as they're going to keep using this as a requirement.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that we want to say to those crew members, and this is what this show's all about, the crew members, right? For the crew members, although there's all this mess with the CDC and going on, how does it affect you? Not a whole lot. And the reason for that is because if the ships are going elsewhere, they're going to have crew. So the crew are, whether you're going to sail out of Bahamas, St. Martin, you know, Bermuda, wherever it may be, UK, you're still going to have to get ready. Right? So all of those crew members out there who are listening, yeah, we have all this turmoil going on over here. Don't get down about it because the cruise lines are saying, you know what? We're tired. We're going to go sail. We have to make some money.
Yeah. And guys, we keep repeating, but I'm going to say you one more time. Remember I said about the June, July, the thing going to return? Yes. Get ready. Get ready because people is going to start to request. And for those people who have documents, they're going to go first. Get in touch with your office, you know, talk about your status, your condition, and keep pushing because you have run so far until here, you're not going to give up right
Absolutely.
now. You know, it's over in a year with us here pushing. Let's keep moving because as Mr. Church was saying, if you're not coming to United States to work for the cruise line that you work for, you might have to go to UK, but you're going to go.
Absolutely.
And that's the most important.
Right. I hope you're ready because, as you say, the numbers are climbing here. The Maritime Challenge. Show them the new video.
Show the new video?
Yes. About all the prizes.
Guys, don't forget, subscribing our channel. Be part of what we're doing. Click on the button. Also share in your social media. You know, the link. You click on the link and then you share. After watch here, so you just click and say, hey guys, you want to know more about the CDC, what's going on, the opinion about CTI. So just click and then share with your friends. And prepare your video for our Maritime Challenge, because this year the prizes is much, much better.
Oh, much better.
I think overall we have almost $4,000 in prizes, right?
Right.
And the last year people was making like 250, but it was almost 20 people won something.
Right.
I saw some guy get 350, but this year you can get 1,000. Why fun? You decide which one is the best for you.
Absolutely.
And I wanna shout out here everybody from OTC Bali, who is our official partner.
Hi,
in
guys.
Bali, growing, you know, a lot, sending students. It's like a track. Right?
That's it. I think I have it. Guys.
You don't know the buttons. It's better don't do anything. So sending people abroad, Maldives, sending people to Dubai, sending people to Taiwan. The students amazing. I'm very impressed with the quality of the students. You know, the English. I'm extremely impressed with this new generation, how they're coming. So I think that's amazing. And a big shout out to OTC. They are heavily watching us here right now. And if you are new and you want to start your career in the hospital industry, I recommend you guys to look for a CDC college in Bali. They're going to help you go through that, send you guys to internship to get ready to work with CTI, and then over time, you guys can go to the ship. We know that some schools, they can prepare you, but afterwards, you have to look for your job in yourself, which you can do, but OTC also going to help you get your first job, which will give you an amazing background, a possibility to work with Apollo, Virgin, because those guys, when they go to Dubai, they go to Maldives, when they come
They have
back,
experience.
they come back with really good experience and amazing potential. As the cruise line also see experience and they see potential that to develop your skills that you got. So thank you guys. You have a big.
Yeah,
we're already crossing the time. Do you know that?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we got
it's
it.
over
okay.
9.
Okay, we got a few more things to discuss and we'll get out of here. Also, thanks to all of our offices who are, you know, getting the people back from NCL, from Apollo. Well, you got CTI Bali, Jakarta, Jogja. Also, Malaysia's out there.
Right.
We've got. We keep saying our prayers for Myanmar because they're going through what they're doing.
situation.
I hear it's kind of slowing down there a little bit, which is good. To Vietnam, to Thailand, all the guys out there, to all the Holland America crew from Thailand that we have on board. A shout out to you guys as well, and Vietnam. But, you know, one of the things that Princess is doing, and this will probably spread soon, they've got the new Medallion Internet, and it's super fast. You can watch movies because, you know, again,
It's an app.
but it's Wi-Fi on the ship.
Oh,
Right?
Wi-Fi.
But they've really increased the bandwidth. You can even watch movies. You can do all kinds of things. Before, when you went on a ship, if you could send an email, you were a lucky man. Or woman,
Seriously?
right? So anyway, they've come up with this new system called the Medallion Net, which Princess is introducing when they go back, part of their Medallion class. Very, very good stuff here. We got a video on this for you to watch. Does that mean for you? Well, if Princess ships are getting that, your Wi-Fi is going to be better. Again, look very, very soon for the CTI Seafarers radio station. And because it's used via Wi-Fi, you know, Spotify, all the major companies are going to be carrying it.
And we're going to bring you guys live.
Yes, yes, live into our show. Well, guys, I think that about wraps up our show. Did you you have anything else you need to?
No, just thank you guys one more time. You know, we're about to complete 1 year with our town hall. Actually, this is the edition of 44.
This is 44
This
today.
is 44. We have 8 more to complete 1 year. 8 more, 2 more months.
There you go.
And we
have a big party.
Yeah, we are just here because of you guys. We thank you
Yes.
guys so much for sharing. You know, each subscriber in the beginning, it's hard to find.
Right.
You know, and of course, as we get more audience and you guys start to engage, you guys start to put comments.
Tell your friends to
you know,
subscribe.
to
right?
subscribe.
We
because
love to have you here.
We are growing, and we are growing because of you guys. We are growing,
We've got a
creating
lot of new
content to
videos,
deliver to
though.
you guys.
All the videos that are coming out, getting great response to those, and you want to be the first to see them. Don't let your friend come up and say, "Hey, did I saw it already?" Because I subscribed.
It's good for you guys to educate yourself. Go there, you know, understanding the educational videos, the explaining videos.
Right. Right.
You know, this is good for you guys. When you get on the ship, you already know. And even for you guys that is a student that watching us right now, when you go for your internship or for something like that, the knowledge that you have to have is very similar
Absolutely.
with the one who goes to the ship.
Absolutely. Right.
And as more you know, as the ship requires more, you're gonna do much better, right? So get yourself ready, like you are going to the ship, because whatever you do, you're gonna fulfill the need.
I want to shout out to my sister Judy, to all of my aunts and uncles who are watching, right? Everybody who's out there. I know that Tracy's out there, Jennifer's out there. They're all out there.
Big shout out to all of you guys.
Anyway, God bless you all. Have a great, great weekend. We look forward to seeing you here next Friday. Thanks to Harold, who's running all the equipment in the background. Thanks to Natasha. Thanks to Odie. Thanks to Ratna. Thanks to Saras. Thanks to Odie. On and on and on and on and on. Thank you guys so much, right? God bless and bye-bye.